What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. So I am bringing you today, as you can see in the title, one of the most been done brought to you knives already on the internet. I'm bringing you the Becker BK9, also known as, what is it called? The Becker, I was about to look, the Becker Combat Bowie. I am going to look because I think that's what it's called. It is, it's the Becker Combat Bowie. So, basically this knife has been done up and down and all around. The thing is, most people who have done this knife who are already huge Becker fans and who aren't afraid or too afraid to tell you the truth about some of the things. Most people will tell you about the rattle, you know what I mean? It's not as defined as a rattle as some knives, but it's there. If it's a combat, if you're going to call it a combat Bowie, there's no rattle. If you're going to call it like a hunting Bowie or a woodsman's Bowie or a camp Bowie, then who cares about the rattle? But when you're talking about combat, you're not going to have a rattle. Now, this is another thing though. In combat, if this is hanging, you're not going to hear any rattling because it's going to be tight to your gear and you're not going to be doing this. No one walks around like this. I wonder where the bad guys are. I wonder where they are. Where's the bad guy? So the rattle, as muted as it is, it honestly doesn't matter. You're not going to have a rattle if you're making a really, if you want to call something combat, then you're making a combat sheath, something that's going to be sheath. But as far as the rattle on this one, it really doesn't make a freaking difference. Not for what this knife is for. And the difference is nothing. So let's talk about the sheath right here. It's like a nylon. It's got molly on the rear. You have your belt loop. It's velcroed. Typical nylon survival knife sheath. Typical nylon survival knife pocket. Doesn't open up very far, but you can shove some stuff in there. You can shove some what do you call it? Like cord in there and whatnot. You see this little plastic guy right there? I got really excited and I saw that and I said, holy crap, there's like a little plastic liner inside this sheath. And I said, what about this Becker right here? And so what I did was, let's get that light back. I took this thinking that maybe Becker had a genius idea and they took that little plastic sleeve right there. Oh, look at this, it was going. And then it stopped. And I started thinking to myself, well, that's useless. Because that would have been perfect for this guy. And why would it have been a good idea for these guys to do it? Because they already do it on the pot belly. The pot belly has a double, like a pouched pocket. And one of the pouches is for one of their neck knives. So if K-Bar is already in the business of adding a secondary pouch for a secondary blade, why they would make this so short and not able to do that is beyond me. Nothing comes with it. Nothing comes in it. So it's, you fill it to whatever you want, but you like that. So that's about as far as that's going to go. All right. So that's enough about the sheath. Now it does have a snap with a pull tab. Pull tabs are great because it reduces torque on the snap itself. So let's go over the Becker BK9. All right, so this thing weighs just a hair over a pound. It's 1.5 pounds. Overall length on this thing is 14.75 inches. You know what that is in millimeters? Me neither, so you'll have to look it up if that's how you go. Let's see. It is a flat grind, which I'm a fan of. Made in the USA. The blade width is 2.063 inches. I have a mind like a steel trap and a computer right there. So let's see. Edge angles are 20. Okay, so let's get the blade length first. Is 9.25 inches. Obviously it's a clip point. The steel is 1095 Crovan with a 56-58 Rockwell hardness, and the blade thickness is 1.88. So here's the thing, the handle material. This is where Becker kills me. The handle material, they call it Ultramid. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to start calling my pinky finger Ultra Thin. Yeah, because that makes it something different. You know what this is? It's plastic. And it's comfortably shaped. As comfortably shaped as you're going to find a handle. But it's horrible. I am absolutely not a fan of the Becker series grips because there's no grip on the grip. And I mean, look here, let me grab the blade and probably cut my fingers off. I'm going to squeeze my hand on this grip. All right. My hand is squeezed. I'm turning it. You know why that's happening? It's because there's no grip. There's nothing to keep my hand there. And everybody and their mother who swears up and down by Becker because they're awesome, says, "Oh, well, you can get replacement grips." Okay, shouldn't have to. "Oh, you can put some tape on there, and you can put some grip tape like a tennis racket tape." Okay, shouldn't have to. This $100 knife, I don't even know what they come. Okay, so retail is $153.05. $153.05. You would assume, you would guess, you would imply that there would be a handle that you don't need to change or alter to make work. That's something that should be already there. The system to hold it on, the screws work great. The shape works great. The contouring is great. The material is crap. And that's the only, it's not just the biggest, but it's the only problem I would have with all of this right here. This whole section right here, that's it. You do have a hammer end, which is good for banging rock and doing that, or breaking open mussels and clams and things like that. So this is really, really good. This contouring right here is really, really good. The material is really, really not. So all the Becker lovers out there are, "Oh, but no, if it doesn't come perfect, then it wasn't made perfect." Aside from that, and this is another thing that they love to jump on, the coating on here is probably one of the weakest applied coatings as far as your better knives. My BK7, the coating wore out faster than any other survival knife I have. And then again, we have the Becker swear buyers who, "Oh, well, yeah, but you just take that off. You grind it off and you sand it off and you." So basically what you're saying is you go through 5 hours of work to clean this blade up because it came that way, because that's what they wanted you to do. That's why they printed the name on the outside of the coating and not the inside of the coating, because their idea was, let's see how many of these we can sell just so people can get them at home and take off the coating. No, guys, that's not why they do that. This coating, it has a purpose. It's anti-corrosion, right? That's what it's for. And because it's bumped, in theory, you should be able to strike matches on ones that are on ones that are bumped. I haven't done it with this yet. But it's supposed to protect this, because this is something that you're going to be carrying out in the wilderness where you might not have an extra bottle of oil hanging around. You know what I mean? And soap to go with your water to clean off the blade to prevent it from getting caca marks. This is what that's for. It just happens to be weak. Does that change the dexterity of the blade? Hell no, this blade is ridiculous. But the coating itself is poorly done. If Becker said, "All right, we want to make $150 camp knife," so what we'll do is we'll make this knife, but we'll give it a crappy handle and we'll give it a crappy coating, because that's what our people want, because they want to be able to customize their own. If that was the case, they would give you a blade without a handle. It would be called a blank. They would give you a blank without a coating on it. to say, well, yeah, but it's okay because you can take a. Guess what? That's not what it's for. It's not for you to have to customize yourself just to get it going. But that's what we're gonna do right now. I talked enough. We're gonna get it going. I have such a love-hate relationship with this thing. This would be one of the best knives ever if it just had a better handle, and even leave the coating. If it just had a better handle, this would be one of the best. But let's take it out now. Okie dokie. We are, while we're here, let's start with some prying. And the reason I'm going to start with some prying is because I have ultra confidence in this steel. The steel is where it's at with this thing. And if you want a $150 camp knife, you want one that's got great steel. You aren't going to care that the coating is weak because you just wipe down your edge. You are going to care, however, at how this feels. Just coming down, doing a penetration test, right? It's so slick that my hand wants to, like, if I have it like this, look at this, my pinky is going over, and then people are going to say, oh, well, yeah, but you wear gloves. Okay, well, what if you don't have gloves, genius? Oh, well, you know, that's different. Then don't hold the knife. All right, so what we're going to do is some 4-foot drops, and we're going to test the balance, and it's pretty much perfect. Ugh. Just dropping it 4 feet, the bite is crazy. All right, let's do some hard downward throws. Oh, gosh. Oh, jeepers. All right, so this 40-pound log right here comes up. And remember, when you lift a log or something that's out of shape, like misshapen, with something like this, the log is going to alternate its weight. It's going to shift. Shifting weight on the tip of a knife means it's going to bend it. Not this knife. Not this knife. Watch this. So I have to fight with the knife if it's pulling at an angle, which means for this tip to not bend, that means it is very, very well done. Very well done. Now, if it sounds like I'm not a fan of Becker because I have complaints, that is not the case. I mean capital L-O-V-E, love this knife. The difference between me and other knife reviewers is I'm a realist and I'm honest. When there's something about it that's not right, I'm going to tell you. Even though I love it, that's part of the game. Everybody knows that Case XX buoy is probably one of my favorite on the entire planet. But the finger swell on the case is too far this way and it's a little tight in the grip. I made that complaint. And that's one of my favorite knives on the planet. But guess what, guys? You got to be honest sometimes. All right, let's try a push cut. Let's try it. Oh, my goodness. I actually thought that I was going to have to do a saw cut, even though I know the edge on this. I'm familiar with the edge. But because of the length, the balance on where you're grabbing and pushing and where your center of gravity is, I thought it was going to be a little awkward. Nope. And double nope. That was clean as all get up. All right, so let's take this stick right here. Normally I would start with a little thinner stick, but this is the BK9, damn it. Yeah, that's like a woodpecker. Just sweet. All right, so after we banged on it, after we banged on it, after we used it, look at this. I hope you guys can catch all that. It was just a straight push to a bald spot. The knife is no joke sharp. So here I have a thicker piece, right? Now, that's a pretty thick piece. We're going to take a swat at it. In half. Am I kidding about that? Am I joking? Am I saying it just moved? Nope, look at that. Look at how clean that is. And that was from here. I didn't wind up. I didn't use my arm. I short shot it. Boom. Just like that. Short shot it. The edge on this thing is made to just work. That's what it's for. This thing is a killer. As far as a fighting knife, That's part of my love-hate relationship with the handle, because once you let go to grab, then this slickness is just going to let it go. So you got to be real careful with that. I plan on changing the scales, but I'm not going to do what they expect and buy theirs. I'm going to make my own, because I want mine to be really cool looking. So that's what I'm going to do. I love this knife. I just wish the handle was better. I don't even care about the coating that I know it's going to wear. I'm 100% positive that's going to wear. Who cares? It's the coating. This is the only thing about the knife that gets me is that. So let's go show you what this can do when it comes to clearing branches and stuff, because that's where this thing shines. All right. Make sure the dogs are in place. I should have done that first. All right, let's see what we got here. This damn dog's got a mind of his own. I got the little guy here. Where's the big guy? Hold on a second real quick here. Well, that was easy. All right, so let's clear some of this crap right here. Get it out of my way. Man, it's just so simple. So simple. Let's see, a little cucumber salad here. Some nice light shreds. With such a big knife, it shouldn't be able to be controlled as easy as this does. But because it's so sharp and the balance is so perfect, you can really, really control this knife with just precision and ease. Let's get that first one started. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's just a really, really easy knife to use where the blade is concerned. The thing, because of its edge, you can do just about anything with it. And in this case, you know, when you're making pit spikes and spears and darts and arrows and all that good stuff and marshmallow sticks, it makes things like that, like these little medial tasks, so simple. And then as just a ground and pounder, something to beat down, the thing is insane. All right, so this is what I want to do. I want to do a batoning, but I want to do it slightly different than normal. And I know I just saw one on the ground. What I want to do is, you see this notch cut out right here? I want to get to it. So let's do it that way. So we are going to notch, and this is the kind of thing where if you're building a shelter and you need to put two together, you can use this technique to square off a log. Make yourself a notch first and then get to it. And that's what we're doing right here. So now I'm going to come this way all the way to that point where I knocked the other one off. Now I'm going to baton straight up, upside down, until that happens. Now you see this right here? This is a great piece. So now if I wanted to take another one and splice the middle of another log, which I don't have a piece, splice the middle, then I can sandwich that log in there and it will hold it so tight. So basically, what I'm saying is, if I take a log like this, right, and let's say it's a full log, this is just the end, what I want to do is open it up, and hopefully it won't break through too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start hammering on it, and it's really hard to hold on this thing. Really hard to hold on a wobbly log. All right, so let's try that again. Try not to hit it too hard, because I don't want to split it all the way down on accident. Because I'm supposed to be pretending this is a full-size log. Pretending. So what you want to do is you want to split it just at the end. And then once you get it split, you take that split and you put it around there. Once it begins to wedge out, and what's going to happen is, as you get down, you're going to take little pieces of wedge like this, and as you go down, stick it in, keep hammering, and eventually you're going to get down to make a wedge. You know, trying to take it easy on this thing is a lot harder than really bashing on it because it's made to be bashed on. So you can see as it goes down, you're gonna have that little gap, and that little gap right there. And when this is a log like this, it's so much easier to do. But okay, so there you go, right there, right? So this is what I wanted. If this is a log, I can keep going for a little while, big enough to be able to slide over that. When you take this out, you slide, and that's slid over, it clamps down, and it literally, it makes a joint, and it holds on really well. And it is a phenomenal usage. You don't have to go this big. You can do it on a tree, you know, this thick, you know? So, gotta pick everything up. You guys are making me work over here, YouTube. So here we go. I need a nice straight cut. So that's what I have. I have a straight cut. Now I need to learn how to balance my hands here. So now what I need to do is go soft. That one, oh, you know what? This was I used this as a baton before. I had a weak spot in it. So let's try that again. All right, so all I want to do is open it up. So here we go. If I was making a shelter, I would use smaller pieces like this, but that's what I would do. I would open it up, I would clamp it on, and that would be it. So I would take a little wedge, put it in there, boop, and I would use another piece like this and make a thinner. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me show you. So I'll show you on both ends. So you'd have to imagine that this is much longer though. So here we go. I'm gonna come down, make myself just a cut, not halfway through, but enough to where I'm gonna get my wedge on. So when I come down this way, that slice that I made is already there, right? So this is what I have. I have that flat part, you know, and then what I would just do is I would duplicate on that on this side. Then the slice I have on the other log, which would have been a separate log, that would have worked. So you get the gist of it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. All right, let's do a dog search. I see one. Roscoe. Where's Bigsby? Bigsby somewhere over here. I can hear him. I just don't see him. All right, so let's see if we can't make one good hard downward swing on a log this fat. All right. Look at that, man. That is pretty good penetration for a single downward swat. Now we're going to try it at an angle. I'm going to swing at an angle. Holy mackerel. Swinging it at an angle makes a difference. So remember that, guys, when you're chopping, never chop straight into wood. Chop at an angle because you're going to get more out. That's why, you know, when you hit a tree with an axe, you hit it down, you hit it up, you hit it down, you hit it up. You don't hit it straight across. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in the depth that thing went through. That is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So just easy money. Easy freaking money. All right, so what we need to do is a real chop though. Hey, up here. Get up here. All right, so let's bypass the part that we made thin. We're gonna go right to a nice thick part of this, and let's remove a ring so we don't get, you know, hard handle, hard ring, hard on the finger. All right, so let's see here. Ooh, man, the bite. That's so bitten in there, it's hard to get out. I mean, literally, it's just hard to get out. But look at the chunks that fly. Look at this, not even doing anything. And the chunks are flying. The chunks are flying. I'm just holding it in the okay grip. Okay. And just letting the knife do the work. That is huge on saving energy. Huge. on saving energy. So I just want to work this thing at an angle. I don't want to choke up. I'm not going to choke up and do this, because look at that. You see this right here? It just got that little bit of bite. Now watch this, same thing, and it just, the wood is flying off, and you see how much of the knife goes into the wood. Huge difference by just attacking it lightly and precisely. You know what I mean? This, I can do this, but if I'm not hitting the same spot over and over again, I'm not really doing anything. You know, so with here, I can push the blade exactly where I want it to go, at the exact angle I want it to be at, and it's going to perform. I mean, you can see the sawdust and the wood chips. I'm trying to give you guys a good angle of just how much it's coming off. And if you're a lefty, if you're a righty, it doesn't matter, because you're not aiming, you're not swinging, you're just tapping it. So that means you can do it with both hands. So if you're out in the wilderness or you're out somewhere in the bush and you hurt yourself, you have the other hand. And if you're not a person who's ambidextrous, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be, because the knife is going to do the work for you. Right? Look at this. Just little taps, and I'm able to clear just a massive amount of wood here. A massive amount of wood. Oh yeah. It's an impeccable chopper. It's an impeccable chopper. The thing is made to be able, this is why they call it a combat bowie. But this thing is a camp knife through and through. You know what I mean? This thing is a camp knife through and through. Personally, in combat, I wouldn't carry a blade this long generally, but it depends on the blade too. I mean, there are blades longer that I would carry in combat as a side knife. But I mean, if it's your main fighter, then long is good. But if it is something that you're pulling on the side because you just ran out of ammo or somebody got too close, this isn't what I'd be using, you know? All right, man. And here's another thing about the OK grip, guys, is it leaves you less area for hot spotting. So if you're only swinging from here, the possible only place you're going to get a hot spot is right here. You put your hand like this, you can get hot spots all through your hands. So that's another thing just to keep in mind. There we go. Is you're putting less pressure on less area. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. There we go. I am left-handed. I don't know why I'm using my right hand. Get through these knots right here. Slice. Now let's check all the chips I put in this blade, how much damage I did. 0 damage. And I have to say that the coating on the BK7, you know, fizzled out a pretty good chunk of coating on day 1 of usage. Now it's got a whole bunch missing because I use it a lot. This one, you can just see it on the edge right there. You can see up here where that coating is like a razor line. And then there, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but you can just see it starting to rub right at the edge. Again, who cares? The coating is not something that concerns me. My only thing is that if other companies can put a coating on there that doesn't come off, these guys should too, especially since, you know, some of the people that are putting coatings that last on there, the coating, I mean, the knife costs a lot less money. You know what I mean? Ontario knives, I could speak for, where the coating is done pretty damn well, and the prices are less than you'll find on the Beckers. But the coating doesn't make the knife. The coating just helps protect the knife. So, I mean, really, doesn't matter. A little, but should it be a deal breaker? Hell no. This knife, with the slick handle and with the weaker coating, this knife is 100% worth it, because the knife is going to act like a knife just every day, all day, any day. This is a knife. This is a bad, bad knife. And I'm talking bad, bad Leroy Brown bad, not, oh, you smell bad. This is a bad knife. Now that I got some sap on there, whoo, what a difference. What a difference a handle makes. What a difference. I think I might do an acrylic, which has a natural tact to it once you get it open. And I think that's what I might do. Look at this. Look at this with just a little bit of sap. Huge difference. Now let's see. Look at this. I'm gripping it and I'm turning it. I am going nowhere. It's going to take a lot of pressure to get it to turn. All because of that. A little bit of sap. So it's amazing, guys, what just a little bit of grip, a little bit of texture can do to a handle to make it better. These guys, they produce a knife that is phenomenal. This thing is a tank of blade. It's a tank of blade. And you are not going to find too many camp knives that are going to outperform this. You just won't. The thing is amazing. It's just they could have done a better job with the grip. I brought you the Potbelly. Could have done a better job with the grip. You look at the K-Bar fighting knives. It's round, the round leather. It just turns in your hand. They could have done a better job with the grip. And I've never had a steel issue with any K-Bar product. And I mean any K-Bar product. I have never had an issue where I've had dulling premature. I've had tip damage. I've had, you know, any kind of damage that would show up in a lot of other blades. I have never, ever had any of that with anything made by K-Bar. The only issue I have ever had with K-Bar, and I'm not going to count the coating because who cares. The only issue I've ever had is their grips. That's it. That whoever works in this department in K-Bar, whoever works in let's make some badass knife steel, that dude should get a raise, where the guy in the grip department should get a demotion. I don't understand why they can make such a perfect knife and fit them with such imperfect products. You know, the handles, I mean, if I have to get my hands sappy just for this thing to be awesome, and that's exactly how it was with the Potbelly. That Potbelly was amazing once I got sap on my hands. It was amazing. But that's what it comes down to. You know, you can give it all the fancy names you want, but slick plastic is slick plastic. Contoured well, shaped well, fit well, made a bad material. That's what it comes down to. The knife itself, however, this is 100% worth the buy. You're going to find these, I know they retail for over $150, but you're going to find it for around $100 all day long. All day long you can find this for around $100. And if you can get your hands on one, get your hands on one. This is probably, it's not even a famous knife. This is infamous. This is an infamous knife. Everybody and anybody who knows knives, studies knives, is interested in knives, or just likes knives, anybody knows what this is. Everybody knows the BK9. It's just, it's the everybody's knife show knife. Every single person does this knife. Probably why I waited so long to do it, because it's already out there. The difference is, I'm going to be honest about it. I'm going to be completely and 100% honest. Look at the balance of this thing. Awesome. I mean, look at that balance. It is just awesome. Woo-hoo. Almost lost it. It's just going from one end to the other all day, extra crispy. This thing is just ridiculous cool. It is awesome. I can't wait to make new scales. So when I do, I will let you guys know. I already have material picked out that I was going to use for a different knife. I was going to use for the Potbelly to get rid of that plastic. Turned out that the Potbelly had solid plastic handles that I could grind down to make comfortable, and that's what I did. So I have the acrylic that I'm going to use. I already cut it in half and it's ready to go. I'm going to put it on here, and not only is this knife amazing, but once that handle that I have on there, wait till you see it, guys, it's going to look phenomenal. Just awesome. Oh, you know what we didn't do? One more thing. Almost forgot to give this thing a 5-yard toss. Now, the BK7, when I threw that, it was glorious. It flew through the air so nice. Let's check out his big brother here. Oh, it hit the tip and then bounced straight into the ground. And just so you know, it hit the tip directly. No tip damage. Let's clean that off. I don't know how that didn't stick in. That was crazy. That was crazy. That I know why it didn't stick in. The guy who threw it sucked. All right. That's what we call redemption. That was actually really good. I'd say it took me a couple to get the balance, but it didn't. I had the balance right away. I just made 2 bad throws. The thing is awesome. So this is where we're going to end it. We're going to end it at the tree. Becker BK9. Yes, you can buy micarta and G10 and all kinds of different grips for this. You can buy additional scales that will change, you know, oh man, I really like this too. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing I ever held. It will really do that much of a difference just getting grippy grips on here, or just throwing a little bit of athletic tape, or doing stuff that you shouldn't have to do will make this thing a world of difference. I use some pre-wrap or some self-adhesive wrap on my Becker BK7, and it's fantastic. It really works. However, with this one, I want to go complete custom and do it right. So guys, the Becker BK7, can I recommend it? Hell yeah, I recommend it. This thing, it really, really is a beast of a knife. You will be proud to own this thing. Oh yeah, we really just want to show it from here because that's the main, this is where you're getting your goosebumps right here. All right guys, so that's it. Becker BK7. I'm Donnie B all day. Until next knife.